Brown,
Tansley and here we are in
DC.
the real lives.
It's so exciting.
It is exciting.
Are you enjoying your first few steps at GAC?
Yes, many steps, not just a few. But yeah, it's great. It's good to be here. It's re-energizing. I am the occasional conference skeptic.
Oh, really?
I am.
What does that mean?
Well, I think that some of the sessions are kind of hit or miss, but we just came from a pretty good one with Brene Brown and just talking about, I know, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talking about all the things. Of course, being in HR, talking about things like vulnerability and the importance of, she talked about like scrollers versus learners. And I'm like,
Oh.
I know we all oscillate probably between those different things, but I thought that was pretty
What's the
interesting.
difference?
Well, I think she made some pretty poignant statements about tech bros and
Oh,
the kind of attention economy that we're in right now, right? We're all aware of this. I mean,
sure.
that's what social media is doing. Like we're kind of getting sucked in, and as a father of three kids, I can see them. We don't allow them to have social media, but it's only a matter of time. But even like YouTube, like shorts, all those things, it's like constantly taking up their attention.
Yeah.
As opposed to sitting down and learning about something and digging in a little bit deeper to, let's say, a short podcast about
Got it.
young professionals.
Yep. Oh, third fork.
Transition.
Like and subscribe.
So
What themes are you excited about?
I think I just kind of mentioned the one, which is like, again, I'm a conference skeptic, but when I show up at them, oftentimes I'm reminded of the importance of being a learner.
Yeah.
And so like it is good to step away from the workplace. I would otherwise be dug into a bunch of, well, right now we're in comp season and performance management, so I'd be in spreadsheets
Yep.
and having phone calls. But right now it's like time away to really think a little more about our mission as a credit union, obviously, the importance of storytelling. Right now, I feel like that's a big opportunity area for me is to have kind of stories on the ready. And I know you're a proponent and expert of storytelling,
Not an expert. I am
but
a proponent.
they carry a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And even Brene Brown was talking in story. So one of the things that I learned and observed through her very much academic kind of presentation, but she kept it very engaging by inserting stories. So there was like bullet points which caused me to glaze over instantly, but then I was drawn back in by very real stories. And so I think that's an important thing, regardless of what profession you're in, is to learn the stories that matter in order for you to kind of be effective.
Love that.
What about you so far? You've been here a little longer than me. I just came in yesterday, so
Yes.
my brain is just starting to churn right now.
I got here on Friday. We had a whole day of meetings around Backbone, and then our QSO room 39A announced that we are live on Roblox, first financial institution to do so, which
Remember you telling me about this a while ago. Okay.
It's very exciting. And so I think thematically, it's fun to hear America's credit unions and our movement talking about storytelling. We stood up Backbone a little more than 2 years ago. We now have 30 organizations that are doing this work. And we announced today that ORSA is going to sponsor a center at Feline that's focused on.
I did hear about that as well. Crushing it.
And it's really important that we have the opportunity to continue to learn. One of the things that was epic about our Backbone meeting, we had an expert come and talk to the whole coalition about how people today are getting stories out. And I was blown away. One of the things he said is email is back. Newsletters are good. And what he was saying is that we've been predicting email will die. And because we all work and need email for work,
Yep.
It's not dying.
No.
And in fact, newsletters can be very effective.
Absolutely.
And I just love thinking about new ways of communicating and the channels that are most effective. And I think most importantly, to your point, I had the chance yesterday to talk to the crashers, and I was chatting about storytelling, and the story I was telling them was when I was doing speaker training early in my time at Feline. David Greenberg, who was doing that training, was sharing with me this idea of keeping a log of stories, and not about anything in particular. His thesis was just everyday
Have 'em.
things happen in
Yeah.
your life. And what's cool about that is you do that for a year very prescriptively. Now I don't have to do that. It happens very naturally. And when you have that practice, it then connects stories to the business that you're doing and allows you to be able to communicate in the way you're describing Brene does.
That's amazing. I also had not I'd seen and heard good stories about Scott Simpson.
Yeah.
And he kind of stopped right kind of during his introduction, and that his opening remarks, the first time he's addressed now 6,000 people here
Yeah.
at this conference, was through a series of stories, including a very personal one. And it just goes to show like it, you sit down and there's a little fanfare and all of that, and then the whole room got completely quiet because of a really compelling story that he
Yeah.
told. And so once again, kind of illustrating the importance of having that
Yeah.
as
It's a
part of
very,
communication.
yeah.
So I think that's a big major takeaway for me. Build on
I'm
some.
thrilled we're talking about it.
Yeah, I know you are. That's very you're once again way ahead on the trend.
I don't know about that.
But no, super critical.
Yeah.
So it matters. It matters to invest in that. So
Good. All right, young professionals who maybe aren't here, what advice do you have for them as leaders might come back? So your team, how might they best engage to learn from you if they didn't have the opportunity to be in DC for GAC?
well, I would say a lot of the things that are being covered here are available. There's a ton of people that, well, there's professional speakers, there's professional consultants, and there's a lot of vendors. And so there's many things that are available out on the interwebs for that.
Sure.
And I do typically go back and have conversation about the primary themes. I think we have a responsibility when our companies invest in us. We've talked about this here, to come back and bring valuable information back.
Yep.
So I think that part's really critical. And not in a way of like, oh, this was so fun and cool, and you were stuck back in the office. And I think we have an opportunity to come back and really share key takeaways from what this looks like. And I think for our young professionals, just being curious about that, what really mattered, having some good questions for your leadership or peers that might have had the opportunity to go away for a few days and learn.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I think curiosity is critical, and I love what you're saying about our responsibility. When we do offsites with our leadership team, one of the things that I ask the team always is, what do you want people to know about our time here? Because I think it's easy to talk about, well, the weather was bad and it was
right,
snowing,
of course,
right?
yes,
This meal that I loved.
yes,
That is all true. And curating the story, thinking about the message and themes that are most important is something that I think we have to be really proactive about.
absolutely, totally agree.
Sweet. All right. Well, here we are, DC themes, and also an opportunity to make sure those that are leading across our country know that credit unions are super important to the future.
Absolutely. So
So,
throw down those stories.
yay. All
Them
right.
up.